weekends going fishing and visiting with my girlfriend.
How about whatever happened to hunting? I thought that was a big part of your life.
It is. I didn't get drawn for a thing, so I had to buy a permit for this fall from a guy out of Mora. Well, my hunting buddies and horseback riding buddies can't get their foot up in the syrup anymore, and I don't like to ride alone. So, besides, it's dangerous getting out in the woods by yourself at my age. I'm
Yeah.
86. I can ride all day, but I don't want to do it alone, so I sold my horses. Yeah, I do stretching exercises here at home, but I work out at Anytime Fitness. I feel pretty good. I think it was time. I may have waited too long, I don't know. But I just kept working part-time. Memorias en español. Mucho trabajo, poco dinero. I was born and raised on a ranch up in Rio Arriba County, up in the mountains. And our nearest neighbor was 15 miles away.
Wow.
It was just hard work all day long. You get up, the sun up, and bend your back to the hoe and to the gardening and sowing and things that need to be done. We had a few sheep and a few head of cattle. So I was the oldest of the kids, and I was expected to carry my share of the load alongside Dad and Mom. And I learned early on that, boy, farming sure was hard work, and I'd sure like to do something else when I grew up. And of course, my parents encouraged that because they knew how hard it was to make a living, especially if you don't have an education. So they pushed the whole family into an education idea early on. They'd be very proud. They always wanted us to. I tried to run away from school one time because I was going to school up there in Capulin. It was a little village up in the mountains. And I tried to run away because I was an outsider to those kids. There was 20 kids in a one-room school, first through the 8th grade. And they were all pretty mean to me because I was an outsider. My father had taken me over the mountains on horseback to live with my grandmother so I could go to school. And they picked a fight with me every day. So one night I sneaked out to the corral when everybody was asleep and put the bridle on my horse. I couldn't get the saddle on, and I headed for home. I knew where the trail went up the mountain, and the ranch was about 20 miles away over the mountains. And my uncle caught me. He woke up too, I guess. Caught me and took me back home and back to my grandma's house. And then the next day he rode off to the ranch to tell my dad that I had tried to run away. And my dad went the following day to talk to me. And I told him, I don't want to be in school here. I want to be at the ranch with my brothers and sisters. And he says, don't worry. He says, I stopped on my way in. He came by the schoolhouse and talked to the teacher. And she says, you're learning a lot and you deserve to go to a better school. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you guys to better schools in Española, but you got to give me time. He says, and I'll get you out of here. And she says, and because I told him these kids make fun of me and all they want to do is fight. And he said, well, these pendejos here, he said, they were born here and they're going to die here, drunk on the highways or drunk in bar fights. And he says, you were destined for better things. I'll make sure you get them in whatever way I can. He says, so one day, he says, you'll be well educated because you went to better schools. And with a good education, you can make a lot of money, and you buy yourself a new truck, and you'll drive that truck over here and show these pendejos what you got. And so that dream kept me going all those years. And when I graduated from college and bought my new truck, I decided I don't think I want to get my new truck dirty on those dirt roads or even break it. so I can go show those pendejos what I've got. The anger had, excuse me, the anger had gone out of me by then. So I concentrated on just on doing well in business, and I bought this pharmacy here in Las Vegas. That's where I retired from.
And you have had how many years with your pharmacy?
How many years?
Yeah.
35 years. Grew up with guns. Of course, at the ranch up in the mountains, you need to have a gun, you know, because there's bears up there and lions and such. Of course, there's deer. And in those days, there were no elk, but grew up hunting with my father.
Hunting.
Just as a means for hunting, although I wound up with a sizable collection, you could say, over the years. I had a gun for every type of game, you could say. But now I've sold them all off, you know. I only have a few, like for deer and elk, and got rid of everything else because I really have come to realize that, you know, one can get by with very little in this life. We have managed to build up stuff over a lifetime, stuff that we at some point aren't going to need anymore. And so you just get rid of it. So in that way, I guess I'm wiser.